a Soviet spy mission, or something else.
Whatever this was not supposed to be in that area.
For the first time on television, the team brings the key eyewitness forward to analyze declassified audio recordings.
We have an object now, over the field.
Which reveal there's another side to this bizarre story.
You're UFO officer? Yes, sir.
Right there.
That's fascinating.
They're calling for the UFO officer.
Why was there a UFO officer at Edwards Air Force Base? And why did he scramble a jet to intercept these objects?
One target on your right, one on your left. He's climbing.
Will these tapes and the official radar images from that night finally provide the answer? This is case number 65102, Code Red. It's 1965, Edwards Air Force Base, located just 100 miles northeast of Los Angeles, California. This is the center of the U.S. military's top-secret flight test programs. But on this day, Edwards' highly restricted airspace is penetrated by objects of unknown origin. Objects that continue to hover just outside the base for 6 hours. Most UFO sightings are solitary encounters, but this is not a normal sighting. 9 different locations are a part of this astonishing incident. The Edwards Flight Control Tower, where the first visual contact is reported. Edwards main runway, where the strange object is confirmed visually for a second time. Edwards Radar Approach Control, which reports no aircraft in the area. The Los Angeles Air Defense Sector, which checks its local radar contacts and finds that 4 of their radar installations across Southern California have confirmed radar hits. Boron, Riverside, Victorville, and San Pedro. And finally, an F-106A Delta Dart, which is scrambled in an attempt to engage the objects. Something is happening in Southern California involving 5 military installations, and the entire event was captured on tape.
We supposedly are having quite an invasion over here.
This was an incredible night. In October 1965, the night the UFOs invaded our airspace. And we're hearing this firsthand with the guy who was actually in the tower that night narrating it. This is unbelievable evidence.
The incident is first reported by an air traffic controller in the Edwards Flight Control Tower, Technical Sergeant Chuck Sorrells.
I saw a real bright object, large, out to the east of the field, and it sat there for a long period of time.
In a rare television appearance, former Sergeant Chuck Sorrells, the Edwards Air Force Base tower controller from that night, has come forward to discuss the event. And for the first time ever, analyze the actual audio recordings from October 7th, 1965.
I can make out red and white, flashing light.
Sorrells is responsible for all of the air traffic in and around Edwards from within the control tower. He has 12 years of experience in directing all types of military aircraft, and he is aware of most, if not all, of the different models at Edwards Air Force Base. But he is about to witness something that he has never seen before, and he can't explain.
It's happened about 1:30 in the morning. First I saw a real bright object. I got a couple other people down to base operations, the weatherman, 2 or 3 other people there on the base that would be on duty that night, to come out and take a look at it, and yeah, they were seeing the same thing I was seeing.
We have an object now over the field. He is right over the field, right over Edwards, moving southward. I can make out red and white, flashing light. And the captain at Step 1 has confirmed this.
It was too low to be a star or anything like that. It was less than 5,000 feet. And this went on for quite some time.
According to him, the object is light green with a pulsating red light at its base, and the object is both large and bright.
3 more of these objects show up, and they're smaller, about half of the size of the original one. And they stayed together. They were like in a formation, or at least close together, like in a V. They went down pretty much to the south of the base. At some point there's 3 more appeared. These 3 are like independent flyers. They fly north, south, east, west, and all that. This goes on from like 1:30 or so when I spotted the first one, someone up till daylight and started getting light.
The team from UFO magazine gathers at March Air Force Base, approximately 90 miles south of the original sighting and the site of radar contact with the objects in 1965, to meet with Sorrells. The full audio recordings of the entire 6-hour 1965 event have been made available and are presented here for the first time.
Pat, Chuck, Bill Scott, Ted Ackworth, and I are going over to review the audio cassettes of the transmissions that night, and then afterwards, you and Chuck and Jeff are going to go over the radar and the maps.
Excellent.
So let's go.
Sounds good to me.
Let's get to it.
Edwards Air Force Base, 1965. A number of objects are sighted coming near the base. The entire event is recorded in tower conversations from Chuck Sorrells.
These transmissions were formerly classified and thought lost. Now they may be able to piece together one of the most incredible cases of a UFO encounter ever recorded. The team is joined by former U.S. Air Force flight test engineer Bill Scott to help analyze the now declassified audio recordings.
These are the actual transmissions, the communications between the defense sector going on that night while the UFOs were in the air over Edwards. This is an incredible audio.
That's correct. And these were recorded from the Los Angeles Air Defense Sector.
The team cues up the transmissions, taking them back to October 7th, 1965.
North of us, there's one coming pretty fast. And he's coming from north to south. North to south at this time from Edwards? Right, he's blinking red. I have another red light and green light combination in sight, moving very rapidly over the field at this time. I'm going to check with my RAPCON to see if they have any movement in that area.
Sorrells in the tower calls RAPCON, the radar approach control, to check if they see anything.
Say, have you all had any reports of unknown flying objects over there? We supposedly are having quite an invasion over here.
At this point, RAPCON has no aircraft in their area, but reports of these mysterious objects continue to come in to the tower at Edwards.
Will you do us a favor? We're looking for about 7 UFOs here. We're not positive. This is coming from Edwards and George. How far in here?